Chairman of Egor Local Government Council in Edo State, Eghe Ogbemudia, and her deputy, Frank Osawe, have been impeached by the council legislative arm. The council's legislators also suspended its principal officers, Honorable Bosede Mokaru, Majority Leader, Honorable Iwinosa Enabulele, and Honorable Elliot Ine-Eni, the Chief Whip. The duo were impeached based on 4 charges of alleged gross misconduct, abuse of office, financial misappropriation, unlawful withholding of statutory allowances of a principal member and 3 other council members, as well as budget burden. The motion for the impeachment of the chairman, council, and vice was moved by Honorable Nosare Isebua, seconded by Honorable Stella Ogida Osagioduwa, and was signed by 4 legislators. The principal officers of the council were allegedly suspended for inability to collaborate effectively with the local government chairman, particularly in ensuring timely payment of salaries. The 2-month delay in councillor salaries, failure to provide effective oversight, and neglecting its responsibilities. The motion for the suspension was passed by 5 members of the council, with 1 member absent. The members thereafter elected Honorable Kelvin Iguakun as leader of the legislative arm. Moving the motion for the impeachment of the chairman and her vice at the plenary on Friday, Isebua said the report submitted by the 7-man panel appointed to probe the allegations of gross misconduct against the chairman and her vice found the duo guilty of all allegations. In a unanimous voice vote, they were both impeached from office by the councillors. Emmy, what do you make of this story?
We operate a constitutional democracy. The law stipulates actions that are acceptable and actions that are prohibited. So, if we are judging certain political actions, I think I will always advise that we look at it from the premise or from the lens of the law. You know, there's this usual saying that there is no smoke without fire. But I can tell you that technology has helped to the extent that you can see some smoke without fire. So I won't look into what has actually transpired, maybe the political interplay behind that actually led to the impeachment or whatever. I will look at what is reported and narrow my judgment based on what the laws actually permit and prohibits. Today, if we agree that we operate a constitutional democracy, and the next question we should be asking that this impeachment, is it allowed by law? Is impeachment of public officials allowed by law? If it is yes, then there is no wrongdoing in that area. Then the next thing we should be asking is, does the impeachment follow the procedure recommended by law? If it is yes, then those who impeached the LGA boss have not committed any offense until it is proven that the impeachment process didn't follow the procedures as recommended by law. Only then we can now begin to raise another criticism and say this thing is against our democracy, or these actions is not in line with our democracy. But as it stands, the law actually permits impeachment of officials that has been so recommended to have acted as against the provisions of our constitution.
Okay.
And I saw they even listed something like gross misconduct. And those who impeached him
misappropriation of funds.
And misappropriation of funds. These are crimes.
Withholding of salary.
These are crimes that are worthy of impeachment.
Okay.
And those who impeach him, I didn't hear where they reported that some people are military men, police, or some hoodlums, or some people just came from some particular community and dragged the woman, the local LGA boss, out of her position or her seat. It is reported that they are elected members of the legislative house that carry out the impeachment, meaning they have the right to do so. So I think who is impeached can prove to us how the impeachment contravened the provisions of the law, how the law was not followed in removing her, then we can begin to raise other eyebrows. But as it stands, these people who carry out that act did it in line with the law, and they have the right, the powers to do so as provided by the law. So I don't actually see any brouhaha in that action for now until and otherwise is proven.
All right, very well. Now, this impeachment, everything was done in one sitting. The question now would be, was impeachment notice served on this chairman? One, where is the place of fair hearing? Because if you serve an impeachment notice, now there is allegation of gross misconduct. At what point was she invited to defend that allegation? At what point did this legislative arm of Egor Local Government, at what point did these councillors, call for a probe into the budget or into the funds of the expenditure of the local government? At what point? Because, I took my time to go through this story and also go through other stories, even on national tabloids, and it was not clear where that happened. So when you say you cannot actually, can one take away this particular action by Egor Local Government Councillors? Can one separate it from the current political crisis going on in Edo State?
You see, in our agronom, the processes for removing, we operate the 3 tiers of government. And in our agronom, the processes for removing a president are stated clearly. The processes for removing a governor of a state are stated clearly, but there are no processes for removing the local government chairman in the ground norm. So, to what law should we look at? Edo State law or Egor Local Government law, bylaw? So, which of the law should we judge? Should we use now as a yardstick
from your angle,
to judge?
If you come from your angle, then it means that this local government chairman, this particular Ogbemudia, this local government chairman has a chance to be reinstated by the courts.
Yeah, the thing now is this: if the provision, whatever law they relied on in carry out that impeachment, maybe might be provided. That is why I said earlier that the person who has been so impeached, if she can provide us that the processes that was engaged in removing her contravenes the law, then we will not raise other form of criticism and opinion. Until then, we can't begin to judge based on emotions. Because where law lives, emotion stays behind.
Of course.
So currently we are looking at an action that was carried out by Legislative Assembly of a local
legitimate
government
action carried out by a legitimate
Legislative Assembly
that is empowered by the law to actually
carry out such
capacity.
action.
Now
we don't know if she was actually invited, nothing like that, behind. We don't know if in one of their previous sittings they have raised some kind of queries and passed to her. We are not privileged to such information. So that is why I say if she can prove.
Right. Now, still talking of this, because I was asking you questions in line with possible political undertones that may have led to this impeachment.